Good morning and welcome to the Sport for Business Daily. We're joined this morning by a Paralympian who perhaps was dreaming of being out on the track in Tokyo at the moment, but instead is here with us. A very warm welcome to Greta Streimikyte, 1500 metre Paralympian excellent.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Tell me a little about how you've handled the different challenges that lockdown has thrown at you, just as it has thrown at the rest of society.
Well, I suppose I think it's all about adapting, and that's the way I looked at it. Like there was two probably aspects that were tough. So it was splitting our training with the group. So that was, because we always, it's always nice to be surrounded by athletes and train together. That's one of the kind of social aspects of running, which I love. So that was pity, but at the same time, anytime I would do session on my own, I would say, oh, they're probably thinking the same thing. So, let's keep going. And then another aspect was probably not knowing about Tokyo, not knowing competitions, not knowing about is there going to be any changes in getting to the being selected to represent Ireland. So there was these kind of bits and pieces of not knowing, which for me probably made it hard. But in terms of training, as an athlete, you have to keep going, and there's no other way around it. I do enjoy the training. I enjoy the process of it. So I never found that part difficult, personally.
Okay, we had Ciara McGee in with us yesterday, and obviously what she was doing in lockdown was working for her. Hopefully it'll be the same for you and the rest of the team. The Paralympics have an extra kink in the process because of the classifications. You're classified T13, is it? For the 1500 meters at the moment. And are you comfortable or confident that that will remain the same, or is that one of those unknowns that's out there at the moment?
Well, I should be. As an athlete, you would be classified. So I was already classified 2 times, and then I think in a few years' time, I need to be classified again. I haven't heard any aspects that will be changed for that regard. So I should, as my vision is, and as I am in the T13, I should stay in that category. And even if I would, let's say, if something would happen and I would be classified as T12, which is very likely because my vision doesn't change, that would change anything to me because I am in the same classification and competing against T12s and T13s. So these categories are combined. So for me, it wouldn't change anything.
Okay, and competing with great success. Obviously, European Championship gold back in 2018. Will you travel to Tokyo, God willing, next year with high hopes of of making it through to perhaps a podium finish again?
That's a question what I would like to answer to. We'll see, because you never know. But my goal is to be as best as I can be at that moment in time. And
that's
whatever
great.
Whatever that means, if I'll finish medal podium would be amazing. If I won't, or if I PB, things happen in the championships. You never know. But if my plan is to be in the best possible form, and race as smart as I can, and then we'll see what it can bring.
You came to athletics quite late. You were 17 when your PE teacher suggested that it was worth a try. Do you think then that you may still have plenty more to give because you've got less miles on the clock than some of your competitors might have out there, and it could be that you're on an upward trajectory?
That's a very good question. To be honest, not always, but sometimes I would think other way around. I would think, Greta, what would have happened if you would have started that? It's like not majority, but there's a lot of athletes that start being 6 or 7 years old, and sometimes I think, Greta, where would you be towards developing. Like, where would you be? What times could have you run if you would have been if you have started athletics a bit younger? That would be sometimes what I would ask. But at the same time, you're absolutely right. I would definitely think that you know I still have time in athletics, and who would have known if I would have started it earlier? Maybe I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I do, or maybe you can see a lot of teenagers quitting the sport, but I love athletics. I'm very much so, and I still do, and I think that's not going to change for a while. So from that perspective, I do kind of find a bit lucky that I'm quite fresh to the sport, and I hope that I have so much more to give.
Do you find that question arises? I know you're involved in the Dare to Believe program between the Olympians and the Paralympians going into schools.
Yeah.
And that is something. So you'll be speaking to children who are perhaps more open to athletics than you had the opportunity at that age.
Yes, and that was there was many reasons why I really wanted to Dare to Believe, because first of all, I think it's an amazing program, and the opportunity to talk with children is incredible. But it was one of the reasons, because I would think, oh, if I would have been younger, if somebody would have if somebody would come up to school and would tell me that story and tell me, what possibilities are out there. If you give it a go, if you try different things, if you're not going to be afraid to try, or would be an athlete who would come with the story like, who ever know, maybe I would have started athletics earlier. But so that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to do Dare to Believe, because like, who knows? I always say, who knows? Maybe there's an Olympian in the classroom.
You were born in Vilnius in Lithuania. You came to Ireland in 2010. I'm guessing that you've still got plenty of friends and family back in Lithuania. Have you been in touch with them during the course of the last 6 months, and how have they been coping with all of the various different things that this pandemic has been about?
Yes, we're definitely we're constantly in contact, and actually, I as my off season, I was planning to go to Lithuania to visit my grandparents, but unfortunately, I can't go anymore because pandemic, it's getting a bit worse in all in European countries. So yeah, it's been for them. I think like any other person, you just have to deal with it. You have to just go. That's the new normal, and you just have to accept it. And I think they're doing quite well. Lithuania was quite good. The situation was quite good there. Now it's obviously getting worse. But I think my grandparents are healthy, so that's for me. That's the most important thing. And the rest of the family seems to be doing well. And as long as they're healthy, I'm happy.
That's great to hear. You've made the most of your talent, both on the track, meeting the challenges that your condition, the retinopathy, has created for you. But you've gone one step further again than many in terms of you've got a master's degree in business management. You're some achiever.
I don't know. You see, I always seen college like plan B. Well, to be honest, I enjoy learning new things. And business management in VCU, the master's course, was one of the. I enjoyed it so much. I learned it so much. Business is the most flexible subject ever. Athletics slips in, and sports in general slips in so nicely in it, and like, it was so great because I was able to adapt and combine the two, in my essays and any research or anything I have done during my master's. So to be honest, I'm so happy that I did the degree. I learned so much, and who knows, maybe I'll be able to combine the sport and the business management aspect, together in the future somehow.
We'll have to get you in to write a guest column, because that's what this service is all about. You're with us today as part of Circle K's campaign supporting the Olympians and the Paralympians. How has that been for you?
Oh, it's amazing. First of all, like, big thank you to Circle K to supporting us. not even to 2020, but now supporting us to 2021. And that means it's always those, first of all, it's big thank you to Circle K, and then second of all, big thank you to the public that support us, by collecting those digital coins for us. And it's always those little things that you wouldn't think about. So for me personally, how, it's so nice, to get like coffee, pre-race coffee, or like a snack. Or we travel a lot as an athlete, to different races. And even with COVID, we had some races when we were able to travel, outside Dublin. And those little things that we can, have a petrol or have a snack, that's what sometimes makes the difference. And to that, the Circle K, I need to say big thank you to Circle K and the people, the customers behind it.